Yo, what is good, y'all? It's your boy Ty, back here with another video. In this video today, we're going to be talking about something that is kind of, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, but I feel the need to talk about this because it's kind of a big deal within NBA 2K21, and that is the badge system, how it works, how it's like in the auction house, how much each badge costs, what badges to be applied to each player. I'm going to cover all that within this video. If you are new to the channel and have not yet, please smash the subscribe button as we're on the road to 35,000 subscribers, and I do really appreciate all of the recent support. So the first thing I'm going to talk about as far as badges are concerned are how much they cost. So when you go to badges, you should search 950. Yes, these are the cheapest badges possible, and they are not cheap, to say the least. 1,000 is the cheapest badge you can get. And then you're like, okay, so what happens if you want to search silver badges? Why are bronze badges popping up? Yes. So the other part of this that's kind of in a bad situation is the fact that you can't search for silver or gold badges on the auction house because, simply put, they will not appear. So you might be asking, how do you find certain badges? So you are going to have to search through your inventory. So here, for example, Randy Center would have to search by this, and as you guys can see, badges are so taxing right now. Randy Center is going for basically 20,000 MT, which is absolutely crazy to think about. So that's how you search it. And then if you don't have those badges, so for example, Randy Center, you'd have to go here, and then you'd have to really search all badges. That's the only way you do it. And then you're gonna have to, search whatever. And here's where you're gonna find the Randy Center. So if you really want Randy Center, quick first step, whatever it is, this is how you're gonna do it. You have to find whatever price it goes for. I usually start at the bottom and keep working my way up until I do find the badge I want. So it's kind of definitely a flawed system. And trust me when I say, badges are very valuable. As you guys can see here, I have a bunch of badges, or where they? I have a bunch of badges within my collection. Haven't used any of my Hall of Fame badges. The thing about Hall of Fame badges is you cannot put them in the auction house. You can't just do it alone. You have to put them on a player first if you want to really, I guess, sell them in a sense. But in my opinion, if you get Hall of Fame badges, it's important to save them, because you can't just expect players to automatically have these badges. So you need to save these until you desperately need them. So like for me, as far as 250k is concerned, I'm probably going to save them, hopefully, until the actual 250k tournament. Hopefully I don't have to use them before then. Like if I needed to really qualify last weekend and go crazy with badges, I would. But hopefully I'm able to qualify week 1, and then we'll be able to save all my Hall of Fame badges. But it's not just Hall of Fame badges. I think you need to be selective with what badges you apply to who. So like a Steph Curry. It's important to know Steph Curry is not sellable. So 2 months down the road, when Steph Curry is outdated, you're not going to be able to get anything back. If you do, let's say I wanted to upgrade his diamond to Hall of Fame, which I've thought about doing. But the problem is you're not going to be able to get anything back. The resale value is not there for Steph Curry. Whereas if I would happen to put it on a Darren Williams, for example, he would sell for more because of it. Not that I'm going to, but that's kind of how you have to think about things within the badge system. So another thing to think about, how many badges can a player get? So normally you can apply, let's say, 4 to 5 badges per player. So Darren Williams base card, as you guys can see, comes with 21 gold badges, 4 on Hall of Fame, 8 on silver. So that's a total of what? 33 badges. So he's going to be able to get a total of 38 badges maxed out. Whereas if you go in here and look at, let's say, a John Stockton, for example. With John Stockton, the reason I might like Stockton more than a Darren Williams is because, look, maxed out, John Stockton can get 48 badges compared to Darren Williams, 38? And that's just a big time W. You can even maybe get more. I don't know if that guy had all the badge spots filled out or not, but just knowing how many total badges a player can get can be very useful as well. As far as Evos are concerned, you can't apply any badges to any evolution players, and that does kind of hurt their value as far as like an Elgin Baylor is concerned. Hurts him quite a bit. Now we're talking about Boris Diaw, an Amethyst. Should you apply and upgrade, let's say, Randy Standard to this type of a card? Absolutely not. His resale value is not going to be there. He's going to be a good card for maybe the next week. So it's important not to necessarily badge out a guy like Boris Diaw, a guy like even Michael Cooper. Their resales aren't going to be there compared to whereas if you badge out a Giannis or you put a Hall of Fame badge on a Giannis, you're going to notice Giannis's value is way up compared to those for that specific badge. So there's a lot to take in with the badges and kind of how they work within 2K. And it's just important to really think about how much each badge is worth. Because at the minimum, each badge is worth 1,000. And then when we're talking about badges you'd put on Boris Diaw, you're talking range extender. To put range extender from bronze to gold on a player, you're talking at least 40,000 MT. And 40,000 MT is not easy to get at all. So make sure to think about what badges you're putting on what players before you just go out and spend a bunch of MT. Make sure you're aware that whether the player is going to stick around for 2 to 3 weeks, just make sure it's what you want to do. And think through everything before you do it. Don't just go in here to Michael Cooper, apply quick first step, do all this crazy stuff with him if he's not going to be around in another week, because you're not going to get the resale value out of him. Whereas if like a Diamond Giannis, it's a lot safer to badge him out and then sell him, because let's see if we can find one. For example, a Diamond Giannis is going to sell for a lot more badged out compared to when he's not badged out. And that's just the matter of fact. But you guys can see this Giannis here with 14 gold badges is going to sell more than any of these with 6 gold badges. So just know that, know what you're kind of getting yourself into as far as applying badges. Another question I had that people asked me is, Ty, would you do this for the Hall of Fame badge? Absolutely not. The thing is, I could trade in all of my bronze badges. I really could find the cheapest ones, trade them all in, trade in all my silver badges, trade in all my gold badges, and do all that for one Hall of Fame badge. And honestly, I don't think it's the worst idea. I want to say this before I go any further. It's not the worst idea, because if you pull Hall of Fame range, that is so valuable. But what if you pull Hall of Fame steady shooter? What if you pull Hall of Fame steady shooter? That's the biggest difference with the Hall of Fame badge. It's like you don't know what's coming out of this. You could pull a very good badge, you could pull a mediocre badge, or you could pull a badge that you just rather not even have. And you're looking at least minimum 65K, probably closer to 100,000 MT by the time you get all of the gold badges in there. And in my opinion, that's definitely not worth it, in my opinion. So just really know your value of your badges. Know the value of each and every badge that you pull, and make sure not to quick sell any. If you ever quick sell a badge, listen, man, you don't know what you're doing, because every single badge has value. So never, ever quick sell a badge. One last thing that I'm going to talk about today. Last thing. Packs this year are better than packs in any other year because you can pull badges out of them. Let me repeat that. If I pull, let's say I go in here, rip a box of these Dominique Wilkins packs. Do you realize how many badges are going to come out of these boxes? Now, obviously, you got contracts, injury cards, coaches, shoes, everything like that. But you're also going to pull some badges out of these packs as well. And so that's why, I'm not going to ever encourage you to buy packs, but know the value of the badges that you are pulling. Because badges is one thing that will never, ever, I mean, it might lose value, but they're still always going to have value compared to if Pink Diamond Dominique's, there's a time frame for him. If you don't like him, you're probably going to want to sell him. I guess he's a lock-in, but let's say a player that's not a lock-in. Let's say Michael Cooper, for example. He's going to lose value over time. Darren Williams is going to lose value over time. Giannis is, Alonzo Mourning. These are all going to lose value over time. Eventually, nobody's going to want them. People will always want badges and always need badges, so their value will always stay high. As far as what badges to apply to what players, so for like a Darren Williams, if you're looking at a point guard, the biggest badges, in my opinion, range extender, handles for days, even a Deadeye badge. Those are the types of badges I'm looking for, like a Darren Williams. Whereas if you're looking at like a George Mikan, or let's say Boris Diaw, obviously he can get range extender, but also for Boris Diaw, you might want to, some inside badges, rim protector possibly like a brick wall if you're going to set a lot of screens with him. Heart Crusher is a good badge. So just knowing what badges to apply to certain players. I saw a Pink Diamond John Stockton up on the auction house with Hall of Fame drop stepper. Now, hey man, John Stockton would be tough to guard and 5 out if he had a Hall of Fame drop stepper. I mean, who's guarding him? But do I recommend putting Hall of Fame drop stepper on John Stockton? Absolutely not. But it could be overpowered. I don't know. That's just my takeaway. Know what badges are worth and what badges to apply to each player. In my opinion, I would not apply badges like that right now in the game. Maybe Giannis is the only player, Darren Williams. Guys that you're really going to be using a lot are the only guys I would apply badges to. Do not apply a badge to a Boris Diaw type card. Now, going in here to Stephen Curry's upgradable badges, this is where it's going to be easy enough to see what badges are upgradable. And if he has 5 or 4 badge spots, you can really determine what badges to upgrade. So, he has Intimidator, Heart Crusher, those types of badges are the ones that catch my eye first. Off-ball Pest, even a worm possibly, fast break finisher. Maybe those are the top badges I would apply if I'm Steph, but it's super easy to see what badges are upgradable. That's gonna wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.